Welcome back. Last time you saw this truck, it was a Bronco, and that's cool. It's just not for me, not my style. It's too big to compete with, and any truck I build, I want to be able to compete with it if the opportunity arises. So it is a competition build. It hasn't been competed with, so it's not technically a comp truck yet, but it will be built as one. Also, I'm finding out there's a few things that are different on the Bronco than it is on the TRX Sport body. First of all, the risers that go up to the body here, the actual body mounts are different. Also, this is different, and it puts the bumper about 1/4 of an inch back farther than it would for the Sport body. So that is being changed. Also, my apex straps have come in. I put one on the back and one on the front. So I got it cleaned up. I've also swapped out the fender flares. They are not fender flares, but inner fenders. So that's good. I also put a 35 turn motor in it while I am waiting for my Fusion to show up. It's going to get a Fusion soon. Also, I'm probably going to take the trailer hitch off just because, I don't know, it's a comp build, but it's points, but I don't know if it's that valuable. What I'm going to do now is throw it on the scales again just to see if the weight balance has changed. I've also added some brass +5 spacers, hexes on the front axle, just to get it a little bit wider, a little bit more stable. So we'll throw it on there and just see what it does, if it's moving forward from its previous configuration. I may even grab a small battery and throw it up front there, just to see the difference between a big battery in the back for trailing and maybe a big tiny battery in the front. I'll do that in this video too. Alright, let's find out if it has moved forward. It used to be 51.49, and now it is still 51.49, but I've not really added any weight to the front yet. So the body didn't change it a whole lot, and neither has anything else. But once I start adding brass to the front axle, that will all change. Let's pull the big battery out, and I'll throw a little battery in, and we'll see what the difference is. I pulled the big battery out of this location, and I'm going to put a smaller 2200 kV in the front here, and we'll get it strapped in and see if it doesn't work any better. One of the nice things about the TRXs is you do have that option to have multiple battery locations. Alright, let's see if that changes things. Incredibly, just changing one battery for another and the location put it 57, 58, 42, something like that. Oh, my finger's on it, I'm sorry. 59.41 without touching the truck. So one battery moved the CG forward. Unfortunately, it did not do a lot to lower the CG. It did a little just by getting some weight off the top. But as we add weight to the front axle here, we're going to need to bring some of that weight back. One thing I like about these apex straps is they are rubberized on the backside, and once the battery's in that, it's not going to move. That rubber holds on to it, so it can't slide out the back. It doesn't move at all. Even if I jumped it off of a cliff, that battery is not coming out. So anyway, I know that in the stock form, just moving the battery can almost get me the good 60-40 front to rear, and it's going to have a lot of changes coming up. The front axle is going to get heavy, and then I'll have to move weight back. So in order to keep the 60-40. I've got a few things going on that I need. Oh, I didn't put the body on, so maybe that'll change. Let me throw the body on just to make it a valid comparison. Alright, here it goes with the body this time. It looks like 55 front, 45 rear. So it did move the center of gravity of the entire truck backwards, and I'll show you why. On the TRX Sport body, you got all this stuff back here that's up high, and this is weight that isn't actually ideal for competition, but it's there. So I did, just to make it mine, I took out the grid panel here out of these two locations. So I don't know, I just wanted to be different, make it look a little bit lighter on the top. I think it works pretty cool. But anyway, we're still 5% away from that 60-40 with the battery up front. Well, thanks for joining me again. Really, the only thing we learned in this video is something that's probably pretty obvious. If you pull a giant battery out of the back and stick a tiny one in the nose, it's going to shift the weight forward. So I'm kind of surprised it was 5%, but that's what it was. So it's an easy upgrade. If you have multiple batteries and you just want to get a little more performance, throw the battery in the front. But like we said, as the truck gets heavier on the front axle, you'll have to move some of that weight back to keep the 60-40. So once I pull the rear bumper mount out of the Sport, because I'm waiting on the one that goes to the Sport to arrive, also the rear body mount, I pulled that out, and the rear body mount for the Bronco there is actually attached to the Bronco. I just took it out of the Sport because the holes don't line up, and you can't, the body's just sitting on the back. It's only pinned on the front. But that's the evolution of this truck, and hopefully it'll be ready for the Camp and Crawl coming up, Iowa RC Outlaws event. And it's always a good time, and we don't really have any competitions or anything, but if you want to come out and have a good time, it's always fun. Bring a good truck, because we got a lot of good guys that have really capable rigs. So my buddy Jared is one of them. He'll bring something great. There's several people that have really nice stuff. So hope to see y'all out there if you're coming. Otherwise, just getting ready for the crawler season to begin for the year. We'll talk to you in the next video.